NBA's marquee franchise is changing hands. Reported by our own Charania on Wednesday afternoon, the Buss family is entering into an agreement to sell the majority ownership stake of the Lakers to Mark Walter with a franchise valuation of approximately $10 billion. Now, the Lakers, they have the best win percentage, most playoff wins, and most championships since Jerry Buss bought the team. That was in 1979, a month before drafting Magic Johnson. The Lakers, they've won 11 titles in that time between the Showtime Lakers, and you get Shaq and Kobe's partnership, LeBron and Anthony Davis. And now the new face, one of them of the franchise, is weighing in, Luka Doncic. He reacted on social media saying, quote, "The Lakers are an amazing organization. I'm looking forward to meeting Mark and excited about the future. I'm also grateful to Jeannie and the Buss family for welcoming me to Los Angeles, and I'm happy that Jeannie will continue to be involved." He says, "I look forward to working with both of them to win championships." We know that is music to Lakers fans' ears. Shams, it feels like this kind of happened lickety-split under the cloak of night almost. How exactly did this deal come together? $10 billion.
You say it, Malika. 10 billion reasons why. I mean, that's the encapsulating reason as to why this sale happened, because we thought, listen, Jeannie Buss, Jerry Buss, the Buss brothers, the Buss family, we thought this team would be in LA with the Buss family under control forever. But it is changing hands because Mark Walter came with $10 billion valuation. I'm told Jeannie Buss drove the sale process, really negotiated the deal with Mark Walter. And you think about it, it's going to eventually be $500, $600 million per sibling. And there was a vote process that I'm told they got a majority vote between the 6 siblings to sell the franchise, but it wasn't unanimous from my understanding. And so that is an interesting wrinkle as well. And this is how it's going to work right now. Jeannie Buss is going to remain governor for a period of time. Yeah. But Mark Walter's coming in, $10 billion valuation. Usually when someone's going to come in at that valuation, they're going to eventually want to have some level of an impact. Yeah,
it's hard to say no when someone comes in with $10 billion the way that Mark Walter did here. What does this mean for the league going forward, Brian? Because I think of the Boston Celtics, and this is already upping the ante from that sale.
Right. Well, I think 2 big things. First off, it means that the Lakers are about to join the modern era. While they have had incredible success and their brand is enormous, they ran as a family operation in a league that is run by tech billionaires and hedge fund billionaires, and they run their NBA teams that way, and they invest in the infrastructure of their teams. The Lakers were behind in that regard, and they are going to, I'm sure, get great investment there. And we know this because Mark Walter and his group did this exact same thing with the Dodgers when he brought them out of a family operation into the modern era, and they have become a juggernaut. The second thing for the league is, I think we're going to now see real momentum towards expansion. The price of the Celtics, the price of the Lakers, Adam Silver already said that it's going to be a topic on the Board of Governors meeting coming up in July in Las Vegas. The value that they could get for expansion has been explosive, inflated, and the other owners are going to want to get in on this. And so I think we're going to see some movement in that direction with the new benchmark being set.
You know, jumping forward on what Brian was saying, I talked to a high-level person in the NBA today, and they said it's leaning towards perhaps expansion coming soon this summer, but it's not a no-brainer. You know, when the owners come in, all the numbers going to come in with them, right? And the league's doing good. They're about to do the Europe thing. They're making money with NBA Africa, which had better attendance. China, they're making a bunch of money in China. So when you look at it, all these owners look at it, do you want to share a piece of the pie now? Right. It's like dominoes. It's all good money, good money. So they'll sit back and look at it, because what it comes to, you go from 1/30th to 1/32nd long term. So you're cutting more a piece of the pie. So yeah, there's an expectation probably about a $6 billion for whatever that team comes in. But long term, is that worth the squeeze for the expansion and the teams? And that's going to be the question that the owners are going to be asking each other, that the league is going to be asking the owners. In the more immediate future, UD, as a player, how are you looking at this relationship with owners with deep pockets, frankly, coming into the glamour franchise of the NBA?
I mean, just lets me know everything for sale for the right price. Yeah. If you come in with the right number, and you know, like they said, you make them an offer they can't refuse. But as a player, you look at the Lakers organization and what they've been able to accomplish. You got to be excited, because what this guy has come in and done with the Dodgers. And you look at that organization and how they've been able to basically dominate baseball the last couple of years and sign all the players they want and get all the best guys. So
there's no salary cap in the same way, but yes.
But he has a method, he has a motto, and he's been able to succeed on that level. And also look at it that Jeannie Buss, if I'm not mistaken, the Busses keep about 15 or 17%. She's going to still govern her. So you still have your hands in the pot. You still get to be around. You still get to scratch your itch. And you walk away with a whole lot of damn money. So I see it's a win-win for those people.
I think that the question that comes to mind, Shams, Brian, is does this have any impact? We hear from Luka Doncic saying, I'm ready to win championships, on the future of LeBron James, of Luka with this organization.
Well, Luka gets to put his words to paper if he wants, because starting on August 2nd, he can extend his contract. He has one guaranteed year left. He has a player option after that, but he could be a free agent in 2026. The day they traded for him, they knew that they had to try to make the environment a place where he would want to extend his contract in August. He could extend for up to 4 years and $229 million. There's some reasons why he might only go 3 years, but they need to get Luka locked in. And to be honest with you, with where the Lakers are as an organization and with this new ownership, I can't imagine there'd be a better place for him to be than Los Angeles, and I would expect him to sign, but until it's signed, it's not signed.
Players like Luka Doncic, LeBron James, what they want from ownership is aggressiveness, people willing to spend. And Mark Walter, in his time with the Dodgers, and in my research on him over the last 24 hours, talking to people, both the MLB world, the NBA world, is that he's an owner that is very aggressive, that he is very passionate about his teams. And so I think any star player would love to have that as an owner.
I know that my sister Jeannie would have only considered selling the Lakers to someone she knows and trusts would carry on the Buss legacy, started by her father, Dr. Buss. Now she can comfortably pass the baton to Mark Walter, whom she has a real friendship and trust with. So Ramona Shelburne is joining us now, and I think everyone, Ramona, was caught off guard by surprise a little bit by this sale. You have been in the trenches working alongside Dave McMenamin, Tim Bontemps, Shams Charania on the details of this story. How did this come together?
Well, this started in 2021 when Mark Walter bought a minority share of the Los Angeles Lakers. It's about 26 and change percent, right? Closer to 27. And the most important part of that deal was that he got the first right of refusal if they ever chose to sell the team. Now, what I think is interesting about this one is they weren't looking to sell the team. Mark has just been trying to buy more of the Buss family shares since he bought that minority stake. And Jeannie Buss, I think, was not necessarily looking to sell, but the offers just kept getting more and more compelling. And you have to understand, she is the governor of the Lakers, but she also manages that family trust. She has a responsibility, a fiduciary responsibility to everyone else in that family. So when somebody says to you, "We'll make you this Godfather $10 billion offer," you got to bring it to everyone.
Yeah, you got.
You can't sit on that and be like, I'm not really sure. You got to bring it to everyone. It's not just her decision. And so they brought it to the rest of the family. They had a vote of the 6 siblings. The votes came in yesterday. It was a majority vote. I don't know the exact numbers, but it was a majority. I didn't hear the word unanimous. And I know that one of the majority was Jeannie Buss.
Okay, so Jeannie Buss said that this is going to be the best decision for the family and the best decision for the Los Angeles Lakers. I have deep admiration in Jeannie Buss for many, many reasons, but she has sort of continued to put the Los Angeles Lakers organization in the best position that she can. And part of that organization, the Los Angeles organization, Chiney, is the Sparks. And you played for the Sparks for several years. What do you think this means? What are you hearing from players and the like of what this means for the entire sort of LA family?
Yeah, I know this ownership group very well. And you mentioned the tent pole being 2020, 2021. And around that time, I was in Los Angeles. And I do, acknowledge that this is a game changer because I've been able to see when I was in LA how they have invested in the Dodgers, and that has yielded the greatest results, especially when it comes to investing in resources for teams to win. And now that trickles down to other areas like the Lakers, which is awesome. And then secondly, the first thing that comes to mind is that competitive mindset is absolutely there. This is an ownership group that understands that this is a championship city, Los Angeles, and that is the standard. And I believe being able to figure out more ways to create resources to support the players, to support the teams, to support the front office, that's what you're getting. And also you get the succession, right? Like Jeannie's still involved. And I think that to me is tremendous.
How exactly is that going to look? Because I think of that the Dallas Mavericks sale, and Mark Cuban said he was going to be involved. Mark Cuban is a close friend and confidant of Jeannie Buss. Maybe she got some advice on how this could go differently.
Yeah, so typically the NBA has a rule that if you are the control owner, you are also the governor. It seems like the NBA is willing to make some adjustments here because that's what Rick Rusbach is trying to do with the Celtics. It may this sale may have been predicated not just on the price, but on the NBA more willing to leave a governor in place. And by the way, I think this is a potentially perfect situation because Jeannie Buss ran this franchise extremely well. She just ran it without the incredibly deep pockets that other teams have.
Exactly.
Nobody questions the decisions she makes. They just questioned how deep the pockets were. Now she's going to potentially have deep pockets and all the experience to run it. And one thing I'll say, Ramona, you mentioned about them selling 27% in 2021. That share was purchased at $5 billion.
Yeah.
Which was an all-time record for
Phil Anschutz,
valuation.
by the way.
Right, from Phil Anschutz, AEG. In 5 years, the Lakers' value doubled.
Yeah.
I mean, what does that say about where things are?
Right.
You want to know why they said yes? Because it doubled in just 5 years. The idea of it doubling again, I don't think that's possible, but I guess anything's possible.
UD, last word on this.
I mean, I love it. What can you say wrong about that? I mean, you give it to a guy who's proven that he's going to win. He puts winning first. You keep a part of it. You still get to be in the fold. You still get to rub elbows with the team. You still get to have an impact, and you still get to cash out.
Yep.
Cha-ching.
NBA